introduction or just...
Go for it. It's recording, man.
All right. Sowers Publishing Group here, and the last week has been pretty slow. We met with Mark Green, the CEO of Mardell, last Friday morning, and it was a really encouraging meeting. It was supposed to last 30 minutes, and it lasted about 2 hours, and we got to hear a lot about that company's vision and how their vision is similar to what Caitlin and I want to see happen with Sowers. And so partnership with them seems logical, but we're not actually going to talk about that yet because the way that Mardell does partnership with anyone is they want to see development first and then look at partnerships. So they put us in contact with some people that can actually help us get producing Bibles, and we'll be going out to Arizona to look at some machinery and companies, and hopefully from there on, in the next 2 weeks, we'll have something scheduled to move forward from there. So that's it. That's an update.
Anything in particular you want to get done in the next 2 weeks besides the meeting with, or the trip out to Arizona?
I'd like to begin putting together a portfolio for investors. So I'm going to do like a micro investing where people can buy one share at $1, and need to figure out after we go to Arizona how much we need. But I want to at least begin to put together a portfolio for like something for investors to look at.
Cool. Very good.
Shelby?
Awesome. All right, Zype Technologies. Update for this week is that I managed to construct a solar-powered box that is able to charge my phone whenever I'm going to and from in the city. Especially because it's nice to just set it in the seat of my car and be able to let it just gather energy all the way down, and then I can plug it in and use a battery that it's dumping the energy to. So that's kind of cool. It's a demonstration of the possibility of powering a device and getting up and running we want to. But that's been a really good kind of a step forward too, and we also got to test the viability of the case that we printed, the first prototype, which was the 3D printing case. Turns out I had a hard time even screwing in a screw to the actual case because it was so durable, which is really, really encouraging. It looks like that is going to be able to hold up to quite a bit of wear and tear outside, so that was a really encouraging thing too. Moving forward in the next few weeks, I'm looking to see if it's possible to make a first prototype with supercapacitors, because we need that instead of a normal lithium polymer battery, because those cannot survive the temperatures that we need. So I'll be working with my engineer again to try to get that going. But yeah, I got the solar power working with a battery, can charge my phone, so which has way more draw than it will ever need on any of the devices that we have, so that's really good. But yeah, I'll be looking to run a test to see if I can set it in the window and make it continually spit out readings all night long into the next day to figure out how much energy our pack needs to be able to store, and get our kind of hone in that value so we can make sure it'll last with the entire night and power itself. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Got our first solar prototype up and running off the ground. So waiting on the printer still. I'm going to go and be unhappy at MakerBot because they're taking forever. And but pending that, we'll be able to get the first devices out the door to OU. So that's our update, yeah.
All right. Driven Analytics, first week after the Accelerator. We've just been working on aggregating data from one of the dealerships. We have a meeting with them tomorrow to look at a week's worth of data from them. And also we have a meeting with, we're working on firming up the meeting that we have tentatively with BG. BG is a product, a company that offers fluid additives, like an engine oil additive, and they give you a lifetime warranty if you use their product at every single oil change. So we're looking at finding ways to create a synergy with them where we could help sell more of those by getting people to go back and get it so they don't lose their warranty. Also, we started having a discussion with I2E about some accelerator type of program that they have called Infusion or
Immersion in Tulsa.
Yeah. So we're kind of taking a look at that to figure out, is that an option to get us another kind of small round of funding, and taking another pretty close look at the business incubator down here in Norman, with the idea of going and hiring a bunch of sophomore and junior engineering students and just making like an awesome workspace for them right there on Campus Corner, just so that they can come in and just code for me day and night. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Also, we have a potential second source for our hardware, so we're beginning to do some vetting out of those guys, some research on their capabilities, and probably have a phone call with them early next week or so, and go from there.
Cool. This is Dylan with Levate. Ethan's out of town, so this past week has been pretty chill. Lots of interesting phone calls with some potential brand ambassadors, and so hopefully that will spur a little bit more beta test signups and just some more awareness. Almost up to 100 followers on Twitter. Our new social media manager, Andrew Stewart, has been fiendishly effective at getting us Twitter followers, so that's been really exciting. I had a phone call with someone at the VA who's going to be actually their head of PR in about a half a month here. He said touch base again in about a month's time when he actually is familiar with how the VA works, and we'll talk about how we can get Levate into the hands of veterans. So that was exciting. A couple other phone calls sort of along those lines, but in the next 2 weeks, I think the main things on our plate are getting the licensing agreement finalized, getting the moving ahead with funding with I2E and OTD, and finally having our meeting with Motivo Engineering, which Steve was awesome enough to connect us with, and figuring out if we'll be able to work together to get the prototyping and the development of Levate accelerated. So that's it for me.
Very good. Awesome.